Okay, good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to all on this webinar with Wow Kids. My name is Atul Tyagi, and I'm part of Wow Kids preschool chain. I welcome all the viewers who are watching us live on Facebook from all parts of the country. Friends, we all are hoping that things get better with each passing day. However, we still need to be very cautious about the overall situation. Wearing masks, washing hands regularly, and keeping 1 meter social distance is now the new normal. Unfortunately, the current situation has restricted movement of elderly and our toddlers. The schools are closed, and our preschools are at home with us. A lot of us are working from home and are working at home, doing our household chores as well as at the same time having responsibility of keeping our children engaged. This can be a stressful job for a lot of us and our little ones too. Today, it's a pleasure to have Miss Jaslyn Locke all the way from Singapore. It's a privilege to have Jaslyn, the tactical parenting strategist who gives beneficial tips to parents out there who want to know your child's strength, weaknesses as they unleash their child's potential. She is passionate about kids and parenting. She also has a YouTube channel and Facebook page where she shares free tips for parents. You can search Jaslyn Locke on Facebook and YouTube and subscribe to her tips. Welcome, Jaslyn, to this webinar.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you, Mr. Atul, for having me today. And I'm so privileged to be here to share my tips with many people around the world. Okay. So
Yes,
I'm so
yes,
excited.
yes, yes. So we are very glad to have you, Jaslyn. So, Jaslyn, welcome to this Wow Kids webinar, and please tell us something about yourself.
Okay, everyone. Okay, I'm Jaslyn. I'm the mother of two teenagers that are actually high achievers in school. And actually, they are both now in the secondary school and they're the top integrated schools in Singapore. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of my parenting journey so that the parents out there who actually know a little bit of story will actually know my pains and my pleasures. Okay, so my first child is a girl. So she's Vanessa, and she's very easy to handle when she's a baby. And as a first time parent, we are all want to our child to be the best. So I sent her to school when she's just 18 months. So I love to to tell you all about how to really groom your kid even when they're just a few months or even when they are just born or even this is very important. The brain of a child is always growing, so we need to keep them engaged. So when she's young, I actually gave her the right brain training. Okay, that was very popular then with the flashcards, etc. And I took a lot of time to read with her and then teach her words and vocabulary. Okay, so she grew very strong in academics when we went to school. And in primary three, which is about 10 years old, she was actually assessed to be in a gifted program. So I feel that the years of like really helping her to bond with her and even to teach her reading and writing really helped a lot when she's going into the mainstream schools. So she's also loving life now, and she's a very good leader in the school. So she's a counselor as well. So my son was actually born 3 years later. So I thought it was going to be the same, right? But it was not. So my son is a very difficult child, okay? And he's temperamental and he hates to learn, okay? So we as parents, we can't give up, okay? Because we want the best for them. So we will use the methods that, we have tried before on my daughter. But of course, he hates learning. So getting him to read books and a lot of things that we try it gets harder, okay? But like all parents, we cannot give up. So we tried ways to learn from internet or learn from friends or books, And fortunately, he did well in reading. That's a very important skill that I want to share everybody. And at 7 years old, actually, he was diagnosed with oppositional defiant behavior. So it's actually a neurological kind of a behavior in this that he has some difficulties trying to understand the world around them, and he actually did a lot of trouble in school. So as parents, I can understand if your kids are mischievous and you feel upset, and then sometimes you're called to school, right, Mr. Atul? So
Yes,
you have this
yes,
kind of experiences with parents as well.
definitely,
So
definitely.
correct. So we are always very ashamed, okay, and we
Uh-huh.
really apologize profusely to the parents. So I'm sure that Mr. Atul has also realized that we of course, you all do not want to call the parents up unless it's very necessary. So I'm the one that always have to be called up, okay, whether it's a preschool, a kindergarten, or primary school. Okay, so I
Wonderful.
know, yeah, I know all the pains that you all went through. Okay, and we, like I say, we never give up on him. Okay, so that's the part where, when you say that a child need a village to grow. Okay, so I had the help of the teachers, like the parent, the principal, even my in-laws and my parents, to actually help him along the way with his behavioral issues, his temperaments and moods. Yeah. So what I learned is that actually we do have a role to play. If we know our child has these needs, for us to help them along, so we should always be patient with them. So luckily last year when he was doing his national exams, he was able to do well. Okay. And then he was able to go to the gifted program in a secondary school. So I'm very thankful that he has this opportunity to learn with the best in Singapore. So I
Fantastic.
know, yes, thank you. So I know the pains of parents out there who could be like me, okay, struggling every day with a difficult child, okay, hoping he will change, okay. But I think the most important thing is we need to persevere and learn, okay, from people around us. That's important. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So Jaslyn, you come from a place called Singapore where the pandemic was controlled, and there was a lockdown in the period of April and May. So what was the situation? What happened actually in the month of April and May for the schools and the children
Okay,
during that
for the
time?
schools, yes. So actually, we had about 7 weeks in total. Okay, so the first 4 weeks is a total lockdown. So we are not able to go to schools at all. So we have to do home-based learning. That means we do virtual learning. Okay, and then we also, the last 3 weeks is actually a school holidays. We actually bring forward from June to May. So that was the situation then. So what we did was actually to embrace a lot of technology then, which as parents, we really have no clues. But luckily, I
Okay.
think this was a very, very good chance for us to really know that when there's changes around us, we need to adapt. Yeah.
Wonderful. So that's actually a very, very strong point that you are giving us. That since there was a lockdown, there was no other way for schools and teachers to reach out. So I think, and everybody had to embrace the change and go online and go virtually and carry on learning. So that's very well. So I also heard that 7 weeks of lockdown, there were phases where Singapore was slowly reopening. Now,
Yes,
can you
that's right.
tell me about what's the situation on reopening of preschools and daycares? Because we here, are contemplating that, maybe 2, 3 months down the line we open. Not sure.
Mm.
Still, there's a lot of ambiguity around that. So, what is the reopening looks like? Is it opening right now? So, what is the
Yes.
situation as is now?
So from 2nd of June, actually, it was actually open to all schools in Singapore to start all the children going back to school, even for preschoolers. But for preschoolers, because they were handling, there are more teachers as well as the children are really small. So there's extra 1 week for them to actually prepare for the opening. So the place has to be reorganized, with the mind in about social distancing for the children, which is pretty hard because children like to come together, right? So they
Yes.
need to really strategize. And then most important thing is the staff. Okay, all the staff needs to go for a swab test to make sure that none of them has COVID. Okay, so that's very
Okay.
important. So this is the first step. And then like there could be toys because they're not allowed to share toys. So that's why the centers also need to buy more toys or the parents has to purchase them. So there's more and more things that you need to actually be prepared for. And then disinfection of the place at least 3 times a day, the temperature taking for the kids at least 3 times as well. And for day centers, because Singapore we do have day centers, so they also do not allow bathing of the children in the centers.
Okay. So
Mm,
earlier they used to allow bathing of children, and
yes.
they were also, I think, allowing parents also for some time earlier
Mm.
to be in the preschool. Now I think so they don't allow it.
No, they only
So
just bring the children there and then that's it. They can't go to the center at all. Yeah. And for primary school, okay, primary school, they can go back to school from 2nd of June. But for Singapore, they took this, the schools took this step where they only allow those that is in the having the national exams current year in 2020 to go to school
Okay.
every day. So for the rest of the
Okay.
levels, yeah. So for the rest of the levels, they will alternately they will go back to school. Let's say primary one, they will go back to school first week and the third week. So primary two
So,
will
so
be
in the second week, do they learn from home or
yes,
how is it? Are they were learning it virtually on the because you
yes,
just told that they're going alternatively, and I also heard that they were coming in small batches. Earlier,
yes.
there was a little more number of children. Now they only come in 8 to 10 children per class, I think.
Correct, correct,
So,
correct.
so now what? So what are your views on the home-based learning? How
Mm.
has Singapore parents embraced home-based learning? What are your views on that?
Okay. So like the word says home-based learning. So there's a lot of advantages, I would say, as a parent, because you do not need to wake up very early to bring your child to school. So your child could be in pajamas, but they are still going for the lesson. So I think for children, they're also very happy. Okay,
Yes.
they can enjoy, eating their breakfast and don't have to wake up early. So parents who have okay, to be fair, I think the younger kids, like primary school kids, they actually have a little bit of difficulty. But I think that's the time when parents need to also give them the assurance that this is a change that we need to embrace, as well as technology, right? So as we as adults, we always do virtual meetings anyway, right? So it's time the
Yeah.
kids actually learn as well. So I guess it's our mentality and the way that we approach to our children that we can slowly, tell them that, this is it's a fun way, to actually meet your friends online, teachers. But I think there's a lot of goodness in the sense that parents need to be more hands-on with them for the younger kids. So it will take you a little bit time from your work. So I think there's a struggle for working parents because the children may not be able to on their video, don't know how to use the laptop, or don't know how to do the connection. So I think the parents need to be patient and really help them out. But I think it's just a week or so. I think they will get accustomed to it because remember we had a lockdown. So I think it was pretty okay. Yeah.
So
Then
maybe what I sum it up that people embrace the change and they continued learning, and I
yes, it's
still
important.
feel that this blended way or is going to continue for a little longer. It is not that schools are opening in full strength very
Mm,
soon and everybody will be allowed to. So they will be partially coming in and partially will stay at home and they'll be taking up these virtual classes. I
mm.
think that's going to be there for some time.
Yes, that's
What are
right.
your views now? So
Okay.
your children, when there was a lockdown, were they attending these virtual classes from home?
Yes, that's right. So I have to explain that actually, let's say if the country wants to have phases, right? So what happened was, we fortunately, the phase one, the alternative going back to school for every level, it worked well. So there was no
Yeah.
outbreak. So that means to say the government is willing to let the children go back again. So on in July, early July, so all the children go back to school.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was in July. So that's why it's a to us. I also feel that it's a blessing as well because for so many months that they're at home, I think we parents also need a breather. So we're also
Yeah.
happy they're going back, and then they are having the fun, with their friends. But I also can share with you what actually happened when they go back to school, right? So they can't actually eat in the canteen, so they will need
Okay.
to buy. They
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to get
Because
some people
gathering, they
to.
have to
Correct.
maintain social distancing. Yeah.
Yes, correct. So I
Yeah.
also saw that in the papers, in the TV, that for primary school children, it's very, very hard because they really like to talk to each other. So
Yeah.
they will be like arranging the tables and chairs like every 2 days because it doesn't work. So for my secondary school, my boy there is no eating in the canteen. So they will buy
Ah,
back from the canteen and they eat in the classroom. So it's
ah.
safer lah for them. Yeah. So it's very,
They,
very,
they
very
will.
interesting. Yeah.
These are the sacrifices. Unfortunately, they will have to do for some time before
Mm.
it gets back to normal. I think it's going to take some time, but slowly, as things go better, hope for the best. And
Yes, correct.
so,
So I also like
what will
to
be, yeah,
I'd like to share about
carry on.
what are the apps that they use, when they are doing the
Okay,
home-based learning. One of them is they tried to use Zoom, but Zoom, I think there was some security issues, so they stopped. So after that, they use Google Classroom. Have you used
Okay.
Google Classroom before, Mr. Atul?
Yes.
Yeah. So to a
I
parent, what
mean,
I can say,
we as educationists, we never used these kind of technology for our preschoolers, but we embrace the change, and thankfully, all of us, mostly our branches and all our teachers and the preschool owners, we learned these technologies, in no time, and we went online. So that's how we
fantastic.
also embraced the change, I will say. So.
That's right. And I think Google Classroom is
I had
really good.
never, let
Yeah.
me tell you frankly, I had never used Zoom or Microsoft Teams earlier before COVID. I had never used. We still believed in face to face physical meeting with all the
Mm.
parents. Now, I'm sure when people are going to come out or taking admission, we might even show them a video recording or show them a video of our school that you don't need to come. I will
Okay.
show you the school from here only, and you take admission. I'm sure all these technology has taken us to that level that
Mm.
we will have to go through these channels and discourage too much of people meeting us physically for some time and
Mm,
have it
yes.
more virtually. Yeah,
You have to save, right? To do it virtually is
is
safer. So
yes,
that's why I think Google Apps is something that is the Google Classroom is very transparent to the parent. So
yeah,
I'm able to. I also learned it for the first time, and I find that you actually know what homework that is available, that and there's deadlines and whether he has submitted. So I think it's a fantastic tool, and I think like me as a parent also have never used Google Classroom, but so I think it's a learning, and I think I love the idea because it's transparent, because you sometimes your child goes to school, you may not know whether he has finished your homework, what is the deadline, because if he doesn't tell you, you wouldn't know, right? But
yeah.
so the Google Classroom is you can know everything. Yeah.
Right, wonderful. So during these tough times when kids are at home, they are, the movement of children are restricted. They must be actually very cranky at home, and for mothers who are working as well as doing their household chores, it must be very challenging. So how
Mm,
can parents learn to deal with this very important topic for today, where we need your suggestions or whatever recommendations that you can give to our parents who are watching us live here, that
yes.
what are the things to keep themselves calm, as because there are small children, there's a lot of pressure, that the parents are also going through, and the children are not able to go out, they are not able to exhaust their energies. So what do you think, how can the parents manage their emotions or
Mm,
whatever, over to you. I think so that's your topic.
okay. Yeah. Mr. Aku, I
Right.
also like to, if anybody has questions, I think y'all can also type it out there.
Sure.
Yeah,
Please,
yeah.
anybody has
So
questions, we
yeah.
will be very happy to take it up.
Yep. And then this
Please
is a
be
Facebook
kind.
Live, and I think Mr. Atu has
So
really.
one of my
Mm,
friends has already written that children are feeling depressed now because they can't go out. It's not like in
mm,
Singapore that they are allowed. It's been in lockdown because we had our summer vacations also. So they have not been able to actually step out for last 3 months and even more. So they are
yes.
kind of feeling depressed now. Even they are not able to play in the society because in the same building there are some COVID cases. This
Mm,
is the so over to you.
yes, that's right. So I think today I'm handling the parents part of it first, okay? Because I think when the parents have the mindset that they can be the change agent, making them fun, things fun at home, I think things will change, okay? But at first, I want to address the frustrations, or maybe sometimes you're overwhelmed. What are you going to deal? Because the children is at home, they are young, they like to get your attention, but you need to do a lot of things to finish for the day. So I guess most important thing I want to tell everyone is that you as parents are fantastic. We are all in difficult times, but we need to stay emotionally very, very strong as well for them. Okay, right? I think it's very important that we know that parenting is indeed tough, right? It's okay to feel angry and frustrated. No issues about that. But sometimes when we think about it, if we want to show our anger and frustration onto our child, and what will be the consequence on the child? So I really
Yeah.
want y'all to actually think about it. Yes, at the moment you feel that wow, when actually I scolded my child, he listens, but you find that you have to increase your voice even louder next time. So that's why I say I need to explain to you all why you need to be calm, right? Okay, so there's actually a lot of pros to be a calm parent, okay, when you deal with them, okay? So one of them is actually confidence, okay? And the child will feel more confident if you are a very calm parent, okay? And also loved. The child will feel loved and they have higher self-esteem, okay? Compared to another parent which is always in anxiety, frustrated, and angry. So with this important fact, right? Always be calm, and then you know that you will see the calmness in your child. And I think the emotions of them being angry, cranky will also reduce. Okay, so they will always role model and see. Yeah, if my mom is that, every little thing she's jumpy, then I think as time goes, your child will also do the same. Right, Mr. Atul? Do you agree with that?
Yes, definitely. You absolutely very important for the parents to feel motivated.
Yes.
What else, can you tell the parents about what are the other strategies that they can use,
Okay.
maybe to teach children, at home,
Mm,
something that they can do. They can uh, find some inner peace.
okay.
What are the things that you think?
Okay, so anyone who wants to know, give me a five. Yeah, to actually motivate us. Okay, so I think Mr. Atul is great to really want every parent out there to learn something today. And
Yes.
yes, so give all your thumbs up and all your hearts to us. Okay, so and then I think another reason to tell yourself that you need to calm is because it affects our health, right? So the health is the most important thing, or some of my friends say is the thing that is important right now. Okay, so if we be frustrated, we raise our voice, we get angry, actually it's really, really bad for our health. Okay. So, and also just now I told you, if you keep raising your voice and you find that your child is not responding, they will find that, oh, my mom is going to raise to the top of voice, then I will react. So please have
Yes.
all this in mind when you want to do something like, want to raise your voice and scold your child, because you find that you need more and more energy and higher decibels in the voice to make your child do what you want to do. Okay, so I'm going to tell you very simple three tips. Okay, what are the three main ways? Okay, one main way is you have to find a inner peace. Okay, so I think yoga is a very, very good way.
Oh,
And
yes,
I think,
yes.
yes, in India I
Yes,
think it's
yes, yes.
so
Not
so
only not
popular.
only for the parents, everybody should do yoga. Yeah, please carry on. Sorry.
Correct, correct. And also meditation. I think for I think a lot of people out there, in India, they are these two things. I think you all are really, really know that all the good benefits. So in the morning, do those yoga and meditation, and I think your whole day will be much more relaxed, and you'll be able to face your children, right?
Yes.
So very good. So okay, another way is breathing exercise. Today I'm going to teach you. Okay, so sometimes you say, oh, when my child becomes angry, or my child is getting annoyed and I should breathe, okay? But to tell you the truth, you should practice breathing like an exercise before the actual situation happens. It's just like you're preparing for a marathon, right? You need to exercise regularly. So for us, it's the same as yoga and meditation. We are actually training our mind to be calmer. So okay, I will suggest every day, every parent have 5 deep breaths. Okay, so you see what I do. Once you take a deep breath, hold it about 5 seconds, then you breathe out. Okay, do it 5 times, at least 5 times a day. So this will actually help you when the day goes, when you find that your child is not getting your attention, making you angry. You feel that actually it's okay. This is just a small part. Making the place dirty is fine. Do not need to shout at them. So I think I really want everyone to have a very calm attitude, especially they are around 24 hours now. They are not out for school. So I think that's the best way. And then your child can really feel that you are treating them, and then they feel more loved, and then you're able to see the errors a little bit lesser, and you will find that your emotions will not go up so fast. Okay, so breathing. Okay, and other than that, I think for parents, we also sometimes, it's the same as child. Like you say, the child feels a bit depressed. It's the same as you. You can actually take the call, to your child's best friend, and then you can tell your child to, hey, why don't you speak to Benny? Why don't you speak to him? So I think it also you also find that this is a communication that your child can also talk to his friends, and you yourself can have a breather as well, right? So that's when I say, have to really think of creative ways to make yourself happy as well as your child happy. But if you feel that this is the way that you want to treat your child nicely at home, be nice and calm, and there were a lot of creative ways that you can actually think of. Okay, sometimes you can do exercise, right? With a child. I remember one of my girlfriends. She always put 6 o'clock every day. She will have a very short session with her daughters, two daughters. Then she will on the YouTube and do very simple exercise, and they find it very relaxing, and it's a bonding. Atul, do you think it will work for you? Like
Yeah,
specific
definitely.
time?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So I
We
find it.
also do these kind of sessions now since we are in a lockdown. So sometimes to actually, I will say as a stress buster, we will just play some loud music and we will just go wild and dancing everyone with small little ones that I have. So even we
Yeah.
have our own ways to release the stress, and it's better
Yes.
to actually involve children in.
Correct. They're young kids. Yes.
Yes, because my children are very young, so they're just 8 year old. So
Yes. So I think the idea is very good, but please stay like a schedule. So like maybe every day a certain time. So I
yeah,
think at least the children will look forward to doing exercise with you. And then if you have Zoom, you can also invite your child's friends to be on the same exercise with you. So I think it'll be pretty fun, right?
yeah. Yes, actually, see, the internet and the technology has connected now. Now everybody's interacting virtually. People are not going to each other houses the way they were going earlier. So I think it's a good idea to connect with your neighbors, your friends, your family, to have a collective session of exercise. Maybe I don't,
Yes, correct.
it's a good
So I
idea.
think YouTube is a great way. You can just Google exercises with your kids. Okay, then you can have a very nice video, where you have easy to do steps with your children. So I really encourage every parent out there, give yourself a chance to exercise with your child, and you can really feel that you are being calmer. Okay, so and then when parents feel that they are overwhelmed or they find that they can't cope with all these noises at home, or also have a cup of tea. Yeah, I say have a time out. Time out is not only for children. You could also have a time out. Okay, and then when you have a time out, I think you have a time to think about your emotions better, and you can better face them the next time, like maybe the next hour when your child is like making you angry again. So always, that's why I said always, you yourself have to take care of yourself first, then you can take care of a child, then you'll be ready, right? Okay, so I hope you're getting value from me, and I hope you can type a 5 so that I know that
Definitely, definitely.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
One small question which has come to me over a message.
Okay.
And usually, everybody is working, and
Mm.
all the women are working from home, and their children are also at home. What do you think should be the role of the father?
Oh, that's a
How
very good
has
question.
how has your husband, during the lockdown, supported you? Because I'm sure you had to do your cooking, and everybody has to do their household chores.
Yes,
So, role of the father uh, during these times,
yes,
so that the women of the family is not overstressed, because she is cooking also, she is cleaning also. There's multiple responsibility that she has. That what do you suggest, or
okay,
what has been your, I'm sure you, what has
yes,
been your experience as a wife, your husband's, how did he help you out? So
okay.
let's
Okay, that's a very good question. I think this is a very good time for dads, because dads are always out working and now they are working at home, right? So they will actually know what's going on, right, at home with your child. So this is a really very good time. And for my husband, actually he teaches my son, okay, because he actually flies very often for travels, but because of COVID, he has to be at home. So I will delegate this task of checking the Google Classroom. So I get him to download the apps. Okay. Because apps can be downloaded. And then remember I told you Google Classroom is fantastic because it's transparent, right? So I want him to be logged on. And whenever there's messages coming in notifications, I want him to know. Okay. And then remind my son to finish the assignment. Because for sons, right, they are usually very uh, they couldn't be bothered attitude sometimes. So they say, "Yo, it's finished, it's done," but I will check and then it's not. So my son has this issue. So I delegated these. Actually, it's quite simple, right? If you actually find it's actually you're just checking your handphone, make sure the Google Classroom information comes in, and you check that he submitted. To me, that was what he did. And another thing is evenings, right? I will also encourage two of them to go for walks while I do the washing up, because we are able to go out, at a certain time, and we just put on the mask. So I feel it's good for the dads and the son to do the bonding sessions. So this is the two things that I have done with my children. Yeah. What about you?
So, uh, oh, you've asked a very personal question. So we have, I will say, divided our responsibilities. We had divided our responsibility during lockdown. So I actually worked on my culinary skills. So did
Oh,
a lot of cooking also in the morning. So I was the first one to get up during lockdown every day. So cook the breakfast. I tried to, and even do some cooking for lunch. And while she handled a lot of other work, my cleaning and all, because in lockdown no housemates were allowed to come, and
that's
we
right.
had to do all these things all by ourselves. And definitely we had our own intervals of engaging with our children, because even I have two small children, and they
Mm,
need to be also engaged. So also we actually engaged our children in our household chores. So we have trained them during this time to water plants, to clean their desk, to fold whatever bed sheets that they have, to make their bed before they're sleeping, keep the plates in dishwasher, because they're very small, they are 8-year old. So they've learned a lot of these life skills during
mm,
this time. We have continued even now. So now it's a habit. They know that this is their responsibility. This is the work that they need to do. So even we get some support from them. So we are just trying to actually, as a family, uh,
mm.
taking responsibility and doing all the household chores together.
Right. So I think
So
as
and
at least the
teaching
child knows.
the
Yeah.
yes, and at the same time teaching our little ones these life skills, which we feel we never got this opportunity because we had maids, we had people coming in to do all the things. So our
Mm-hmm.
children get this opportunity. This is the time now, which I want to tell to the parents, that this is the time to teach them these important life skills.
Yes.
Now, even as to relieve your stress of working all the day and doing your household chores and working from home, please involve them into daily working routine. The whatever small tasks you believe, like keeping the water jug, filling the water jug, maybe
Mm.
watering the plants, and
Wiping
giving
the
water to the pets.
table. Yeah.
Whatever these little small chores, you can teach them right now. This is the appropriate time, and it will also help you the burden, and you will not feel stressed,
Mm.
because
That's right.
children will need to be engaged. We have very small children, they also need to be engaged, and they are at home, they can't go out.
Yes.
So we have these challenges which
Mm.
we are facing. So what
Yes.
are the what has been your learning in the last 2 months? I think that you've gone online, you have a YouTube channel now, and you have a Facebook page. So
Mm.
how have these 3 months, after the lockdown, has transformed you as a person? Have you gone ahead and learned more technologies, or were you tech savvy from maybe last several years, or how has this COVID-19 changed you as a person? That's a very different question, which I thought I'll take this opportunity to ask you. So
Okay. I'll take the question. I think it was pretty amazing that actually I learned about video making in January before the COVID. Okay, that
okay,
was I took a course, and that's when I started to want to do online videos, right? So I
yeah,
learned the skills, and then when March came, I even then I go for another course again. So I have more, and then we really go through the Facebook page. How we're going to get our how to get your social media going. So that's the important part of it, is that we need to learn first, and of course you need to try out. Try out is very important. Where
definitely, definitely.
correct from the part where you start to do your videos. Actually, I tell you, it's not easy for a lot of people, right? To really put on the video on and talk to it like yourself.
See the great change I would like to mention here that our teachers across the globe who have gone online had never faced a camera. Now, our teaching in our preschool is not like voice over recording. It is not like that. Our teachers video record themselves, and they make the videos engaging as if they are talking to children, and it is such a change for them, and a lot of them have embraced the change and have really done a very good job. I don't want to leave this opportunity to thank them every
Mm,
time whenever I have any conversation, because they have also taken the responsibility and transformed and embraced the change for the benefit of the children across the globe, not even in just our country or wow kids, across the globe, which is a great thing. So I
yes.
think great, Jaslyn. So, friends, we had some great views on the situation of Singapore and
Mm,
parenting during these unprecedented times. How can we keep ourselves calm at home and help our own well-being? I hope this webinar is beneficial for all of you. Okay.
mm, yes.
Sincere thanks to Jaslyn, all the way from Singapore, for taking time out for Wow Kids. And
Mm,
I thank all the viewers for taking your precious time to watch our live show. Thank you so much, and you all have a nice day. Thank you.
yes. And please follow me on my Facebook. Thank you.
Yes, yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
thank you,
Mr.
thank
Atu,
you.
for
Bye,
having
bye,
me.
Jess. Yeah,
Bye
bye, Jess.
bye. Yeah.
Yes, bye.